Hello, my name's Claire. I'm a pro-Kashmiri activist from the group Let Kashmir Decide. I get many people asking me why I'm so passionate about Kashmir, what it is that's brought me into this field of work, and why I want to raise awareness and stand in solidarity. So this short video is an attempt to try and answer that question. Um, as you know, life and the things that happen to us in life shape who we are and who we become. So here I am. And last year, just before the lockdown of Kashmir by the Indian government on the 5th of August, I went on holiday to Mumbai. When I was there, I met what I would call a personal shopper, a lady called Sheila, who was from the slums, and she took me on an amazing day where we went from shop to shop. And I was looking for some Indian dolls. So she took me to a particular gift shop where I met an amazing Kashmiri businessman who managed to sell me no Indian dolls because he didn't have any, but two beautiful Kashmir rugs. They now sit in the heart of my home, which is wonderful. But we kept in touch with one another. And one day when I was texting him after asking him after his family, back came the response that he had no idea, he didn't know, the country was locked down and he couldn't contact them. And that was just one person with one personal problem, one difficulty, which I could feel his anguish and pain. And with that, then opened up my eyes completely to a whole world that I had no idea was happening, no idea that that was going on, and that in this day and age, such abuses and human crimes were happening, and that had been hidden from our eyes. I generally like to think I'm quite well educated. I take an interest in a lot of different matters, and I couldn't believe that all I could associate with Kashmir up until this point was Kashmir rug. So I felt a huge sense of injustice. That took me into various social media websites. A lot of MPs at this time were sharing news on the issue, and people were jumping in and having debates. So Liam Burns and Afzal Khan were two of the members, and I would be in there debating the issue. And there was some really strong opinions from both sides, but the injustice, the sense of injustice in me just didn't sit right. So I was having all these arguments with people and then being backed up and supported by others. And all I could see is that my line of reasoning was completely right. It gave me confidence. And I thought, right, okay, we can't just sit here and do nothing. There must be something that we can do. I thought every one of us here in this world can make a difference when you see something so blatantly wrong. So through the social media, I was talking to lots of different people about the issue, and one such person was Javad, who lives in Kotley in Azad, and we spent many long times talking about the history of Kashmir, about his experience, his upbringing, different points on the lockdown, and then we just came about the idea, why don't we start a Facebook group where people can come in and share the news, share the issues, and see if we couldn't raise awareness. I'd had this huge feeling at the time that I just wanted to take all the world to Kashmir to get the Indian troops out, and it was that sense of, well, okay, we can't do that because people are busy and there's all these different reasons. So what can we do? So through the group and then through these discussions, the idea came about, well, hang on, we can take one person from every country in the world to Kashmir. We'll have like a tea party there. We call it tea party because in England they're sombre affairs, usually tea parties. It's not like a knees up. So it's now come to a head where it'll be a solidarity event that we wanted to hold in Kashmir to show Kashmiris that the world do care about them. And we wanted to raise that awareness. On the journey to doing it, that's the thing. You realize it's not the end point, it's the process, the things that happen while you're doing the journey. So it was about trying to get attention, awareness for the tea event, which was then led to many different links, many different things happening. So along the journey now, we're having our UK Unite group where we bring in everything in. And I've just met so many amazing different people that have been there on this journey, are still driving that journey, which is driving me. And as an ordinary citizen of the world, I don't actually see why we can't make a difference, why we can't actually get work for the freedom of Kashmir. I strongly believe if the people want it, that we can have it. So we're just looking at all the different avenues, all the politics, all the different strengths that Kashmiris and Kashmiri workers have built up over the years, and trying to use that somehow in dialogues and discussion and raising awareness and support everywhere. So that's what's brought me here. I sincerely believe that we can do this, that we can get this, we can work through the mechanisms that get us here. So we're based on our petition to the United Nations, which is insisting the Indian government lift the lockdown, that the troops are out and the regulations of August 1948 are implemented. At the moment, we're recognising that perhaps we need to overcome the similar agreement, that what would be really good is if Pakistan pushed for that to be set aside. They were basically hassled into that because they had political prisoners at the time. Also, India have violated it. So that should be declared null and void, which brings us to the United Nations issue of 1948, which is then a plebiscite. So I actually think it's in sight, it's reachable, it's touchable, and there's all the support out there. And I think what my role is, or what I like to think I've done, is to bring all this together, but also raising that awareness in the Western world through the English communities, Scottish communities, if there are such a thing as those, but where people aren't aware of what's gone on over the years, and want to try and make that difference. So that's my story. That's where I am, still filled full with a sense of injustice, and just as focused and determined to raise awareness and stand in solidarity and do whatever it is that we have to do to get a free Kashmir. Thank you for listening.